Brain damage. It's the operating system of the modern world. Indeed, one might say civilization and brain damage go hand in hand. It's the only reason why modern society, how modern society can operate in its current form, is through the damaging of the brain. In fact, one might say that it's through the loss of movement, the loss of the local, the locating power, the locomotive power of the animal, that man has become brain damaged. Susan Greenfield, the neurologist, I remember reading a wonderful book by hers in Saudi Arabia when I worked for Aramco, and they had a wonderful little library that they were getting rid of, so I managed to purloin most of the good books before they binned them all and digitalised them. Oh my God, what a euphemism. Euthanasia for books, digitalisation. And so she writes about the sea tunicate, this sea creature, that when it matures, it attaches itself to a rock and it stops moving. It then does the bizarre act of consuming its own brain. And so that's what happens when you stop moving. You don't need a brain. And one might say that it's the loss of the local, the locomotive, the locating power, and the concurrent, the concurrent sort of battering over the head of globalization and transportation, which of course is deportation. That's what it should be called, because all transport, deports, comes from the old French déporter, to deport you from your aboriginal and indigenous, your true self. And so it's the loss of that locating and locomoting power that causes the brain to become damaged. And so the car, like alcohol, is a neurotoxin. It damages your brain because it removes you from your own heart, your own body, and your own cardiovascular system, not to mention the land, the earth, and everything that is alive, whilst at the same time making you serve a machine that pollutes and filthies and destroys your land. Imagine that, contaminating your children's air supply and then calling yourself civilized. And so if that's not the very epitome of brain damage, this cognitive dissonance, the car driving ecologist, the gentle rapist. This is what your society is. Just, take your head out of the abyss for a second and look around you and you'll see. And so the neurotoxin is everywhere, whether it's the smartphone, the Barbie doll, the dog, the pet, the car, the gas chamber. All these security blankets that remove you and deport you from yourself. And so the best thing you can do for the world is to realise your own self and to get back into your own self, not to deport yourself from yourself. And this is how you change the world. And this is what Gandhi was saying all those years ago, that be the change that you want to see in the world. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. I think they left that little bit at the end out, but, he said that. Trust me. And so this is the problem, that the infantile consciousness wants someone else to do it for them. They want the parent nanny to clean up their mess, to change the system before they themselves change. But that's, sadly, a product of your brain damage. So get out of the brain damage and get into the brain health. I mean, what is a wood in a forest or a hillside if not its very own brain?